So whether you're doing e-commerce or you're doing a regular business, it's important to really understand that DHL can really help you out. Okay. So what I want to do today is actually talk to you about DHL e-commerce versus DHL Express, and the question is, which is really better for online merchants, but also for regular shipments. Okay. So here's a rundown I want you to really think about. When you think about DHL e-commerce and DHL Express, I want you to think about actually services that are part of the same conglomerate, and that's DHL. And the DHL is a biggie. I mean, DHL is a biggie when it comes to international shipments. Of course, they're not really as big in the States, but they're very prominent internationally. So if you are, let's say, if you have an online store and your customers are primarily based, or let's say overseas, then you might want to think about DHL Express because they really are kicking ass big time internationally. So DHL eCommerce handles both domestic and international shipping services. DHL Express offers both domestic and international shipping, but the thing is that their global reach and local teams ensure fast delivery with end-to-end tracking and custom clearance. So the thing is that DHL Express has a more like a broader set of services than DHL eCommerce. DHL eCommerce is more specialized on e-commerce activities, online stores. If you have an online store with Shopify, with Magento, with BigCommerce, with WooCommerce, okay. So that's kind of important to think about that. Now, one thing for sure, whether you are in the States or whether you have like you are in another country, you will love DHL Express and DHL eCommerce because DHL as a conglomerate, as a shipping conglomerate, is really good when it comes to their speed, their customer service, but most importantly, their affordability. Okay, DHL is not that expensive. Like if you were to compare and contrast the DHL to, let's say, a UPS or a FedEx for that matter, you'll realize that DHL is actually cheaper in like on certain routes. Okay, so if you are an online merchant in the States and you're looking for like shipping solutions that actually suit you not only domestically but also internationally, you want to really think about DHL big time. Now, let me talk to you a little bit about DHL e-commerce. I mean, I first want to really go more granular on DHL e-commerce, so you have a clear idea what you're really contemplating here. So, DHL e-commerce handles both domestic and international shipping services, and with its standard parcel delivery services, it really gives a lot of affordability, but also efficiency to e-commerce. Okay, to online merchants, and the service actually offers more flexibility, but also affordable prices. So but the thing is, the focus here is on lightweight parcels. So if you are an online merchant, if you're an online store owner, and you kind of specialize in lightweight parcels, then you might want to think about DHL e-commerce. Once you start thinking about bulky items, big items like heavy items, then DHL e-commerce is not your right partner, at least within the DHL family of units or companies. Okay, the thing is here is that the domestic services for DHL e-commerce specifically are classified as the following. So domestic offering. So you have a DHL e-commerce specializing in lightweight parcels. I'm talking about the lighter than 5 pounds, okay? And also they have a great pricing model because they have an ounce-based pricing model on the 1 pound. So that's kind of cool. And within DHL e-commerce, you have national coverage, delivery to every U.S. zip code, with the final mile done by the USPS team. So the thing is that DHL understand that they can't really cover the whole United States, and when it comes to national coverage, USPS is the better partner because USPS is a government agency, is actually the postal arm of the federal government. So they have more branches, more locations when you think about it that way. So when you think about the DHL e-commerce on the domestic offering point of things, they are actually offer you end-to-end tracking. So you can actually access end-to-end tracking within DHL e-commerce. That's really cool. One thing that you will also love when you think about DHL e-commerce this year is that you have three service levels, okay? And they have expedited max to the 3 days definite service. They have expedited to the 5 day service, and then they have ground 3 to 8 day service. So that's kind of cool, especially if your customers are expecting their orders within a certain time frame. Then you can choose which service level that will really suit your specific goals, especially when it comes to logistical needs. Now, one thing I need to explain here is that if your customers are in rural areas or in remote areas, I mean, we're speaking about the U.S. though. So if those customers are in rural areas, then you have to really understand that the final mile delivery will be done by the USPS team. So that means what? It means that it will be longer. Delivery will take long, or will take longer. So your customer must expect it. It's all about expectations. I mean, nowadays customers want to have a delivery within 2 to 3 days because Amazon has set the bar real high. But if you have customers who really don't care about waiting a little more, that's fine too. So if you're an online merchant or even a brick and mortar merchant, and your customers actually want to have their orders like within 1 week, then you want to go with the ground service. If they want things real fast, you go to expedited max. But if they want something in between, then go with expedited, just expedited, because you have a service that actually will get you like your items delivered within 2 to 5 days. Now, when should you use the DHL e-commerce if you are in the States? So if you are a merchant needing a 3 day service level at an affordable price for lightweight shipments under 5 pounds. So again, it's important that the critical mass, so to speak, the critical criterion here is 5 pounds. So less than 5 pounds, go with DHL. If you are looking for greater flexibility than one might get with other express couriers, for instance, DHL might be better than USPS, UPS, or FedEx in certain areas, then go with DHL eCommerce in the States at least. I want to talk to you now about DHL eCommerce cross-border services, okay? I mean, I spoke to you a little earlier about domestic offering. So domestic offering, you have three service levels, right? But internationally, what are we talking about? Well, internationally, you have DHL Packet International. I'm still talking about DHL eCommerce though. I'll talk about DHL Express later on. But DHL eCommerce cross-border services, you have DHL Packet International, DHL Parcel Standards, you have DHL Parcel Direct. So that's kind of cool. So you have three service levels when it comes to cross-border operations. So DHL Packet International actually assures you to have a 4 to 8 day delivery through a postal network. So DHL eCommerce will work with postal networks of each country to ensure prompt delivery. So, for instance, if they're in Germany, they will work with Deutsche Post. If they are in Canada, they work with Canada Post. If they are in the States, they work with USPS. That's why they have the final mile delivery with USPS. So whatever country they're in, they'll work with the postal network. And so DHL Packet International is ideal for lower weight, lower value shipments. Okay, very important. Now, what about DHL Parcel Standard? Well, here you have 4 to 14 day delivery through postal networks once again. And this is in Canada and Europe, 4 to 8 days. For the rest of the world, 8 to 14 days. I mean, in Africa, 8 to 14 days. Asia, 8 to 14 days. Latin America, 8 to 14 days. So I'm just telling you this because based on the geography of your customers, then you have a certain level of expectations. And with DHL Parcel Standard, you have coverage up to 44 pounds. That's 20 kilos. And you have end-to-end tracking. And then you have DHL Parcel Direct. Here, you have 3 to 10 days delivery through commercial networks. Faster, more reliable than postal with improved visibility. So basically, when should you use DHL e-commerce cross-border services? Well, if you are looking for an economical cross-border shipping solution with broad geographic coverage, or if you're interested in both postal and commercial clearance, delivery duties, paid or unpaid. Okay, so this is important. Now, all the listed services, the listed service planes for DHL e-commerce ship actually parcels from the U.S. to more than 220 other countries. So, in terms of global coverage, you'll be happy. And this plane also offers a merchants DHL e-commerce customer support services that make it them actually make tracking shipments a lot easier. Now, let me talk to you about DHL Express. So, let's first define what DHL Express is, so you have a clear idea what this arm of a DHL does. So, DHL Express offers both domestic and international shipping. There are global reach and local teams ensure that you have a fast delivery with end-to-end tracking and customs clearance. Okay, and so the planes under this type of service focus on time-critical delivery services. Like basically, DHL Express, as the name implies, really focuses on urgency, focuses on immediacy, right? Time critical delivery services. So, what are the services here? Well, you have a DHL time definite service, which really offers international door to door delivery by a specific time or by the end of the next possible business day. So, for Express, you have 9 a.m., Express 10:30 a.m., Express 12 noon 12 o'clock, and Express worldwide. So the focus here is on this specific time, and you have to choose which one you want to really go for. Of course, they'll charge you a little more, though. I mean, the faster you want the shipment to be sent, the more you have to pay. But hey, listen, if you're sending something really important and you want the thing to you want the document to reach, or the package to reach the recipient by a certain time frame, and you're willing to pay for it, DHL will make sure it happens. Okay, that they have the experience, they have the proven track record to make sure it happens. So besides DHL's time definite service, you also have DHL's day definite service. So day definite services. Basically, the focus is shifting from time to a day. Okay, so this services actually offer international door-to-door delivery within a certain number of business days for less urgent and sorry about this, and heavier shipments. Okay, let me drink some water here. Apologies here. So what I was saying here is that, thank you. So when you think about DHL's day definite services, you want to focus on heavier shipments, right? And dedicated customer support is also available for this service to help with global shipment tracking. So this is kind of cool. So when you think about DHL Express here, when should you use DHL Express? I mean, whether you are in the States or you are in another country, right? Now, this particular shipping option comes with many advantages, but the thing is, you want to use it only if it makes sense for your business, because it is not cheap, right? Because anytime you really want to focus on speed, on immediacy, as I said a little earlier, it will cost you money. So generally, DHL Express is best for companies who need regular international shipping services, who intend on venturing into new cross-border markets, who need timely delivery of products, especially perishable goods, and companies who need to track shipments very closely and carefully. So the thing is that using DHL Express is kind of great for making sure that your products get to your customers on time and in good condition too, because you don't want to just focus on speed, and your customers is getting something crappy, right? So the cool thing is, in using this service, you can effectively keep track of your shipments until they get delivered to your customers. So that's kind of cool, because it gives you a lot of flexibility. It gives you a lot of affordability. That's really good. But it also gives you a lot of efficiency. It instills an extra layer of efficiency into your logistical operations. So that's kind of cool. And one thing I want to say also is that DHL Express is also very convenient, not just for the let's say for the e-commerce retailers, but for their customers too, because the customers are really happy to get the delivery real fast. Okay, so from a sustainability point of view, that's really good. You are having a great relationship with your customers, and you may also be eligible to receive significant discounts on bulk shipments depending on their destinations. I mean, there are certain countries that are quote unquote better for DHL Express than others. I mean, if you ship to developed countries like in Europe or in North America or in certain countries in Asia, you have more chances of having a better deal than if you were to ship to a less developed country. So it is just yeah, this is just a matter of economic reality. So what is the selection here? DHL e-commerce versus DHL Express. Which one should you actually choose? Well, the question is it's a good one, but the answer is very simple too. You want to choose one that works for you, right? It's all about your needs. It's all about your logistical requirements. It's all about the operational journey that your company is currently going through. For you to choose a DHL Express versus DHL e-commerce, you got to really ask yourself, what kind of end goal do you have? If you have an e-commerce like an online store, where are your customers located at, and how fast do your customers want to get their orders? Okay, so when deciding whether to choose DHL e-commerce or DHL Express for your e-commerce business, the decision is very simple. You can use both depending on your needs, because timing can play an important role too. Chronology, right? I mean, seasonality. If you are shipping during the holiday season and you want to please your customers, then DHL Express might be better. But otherwise, you can go with DHL e-commerce. Now, generally, U.S.-based online merchants who deliver primarily to customers in the United States are better off with DHL e-commerce, while those who frequently ship cross-border to international destinations should probably rely more on DHL Express. Okay, it's one of those things where you have to see what works for you, but you always have the possibility, though. Remember, if DHL Express DHL Express or DHL e-commerce are not better for you, you have the possibility to actually try USPS, try UPS, try FedEx, try other players too, or you can just even partner with a shipping company to really explore more couriers, right? I mean, the top four couriers are, of course, DHL, USPS, UPS, and FedEx. But you have hundreds of couriers more in the world that will work with you. They'll give you better rates, better shipping rates. But you got to really have a partner, a shipping partner, to sort of negotiate with them so that you can have discounted, pre-negotiated rates, including both DHL e-commerce and DHL Express. What I'm trying to say here is that when you go to you as a regular customer, when you go to a DHL to negotiate better rates for, let's say, for your shipments, you might not be as lucky as if you were to go to a third party who already has let's say, a relationship with DHL, who has already negotiated better rates with DHL, and who is willing to pass on those pre-negotiated discounted rates to you. That's really the power of a partnership. So here is the denouement here. In today's conversation, I spoke to you about DHL e-commerce versus DHL Express. I gave you the rundown. I spoke about DHL e-commerce. I spoke about DHL Express. I gave you the selection, and now the denouement. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.